I changed my room. Yes. You know, there are movies that make you wish you were a king, ruling a kingdom, wearing fancy jewelry. Chhawa had the opposite effect on me. Because if that is what it takes to be one, count me out. Chhawa is the story of the insanely brave Maratha king, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. And while it will have you love drunk on the battle sequences and Vicky Kaushal's performance, it will leave you wondering what the broader story was. Chhawa is based on a novel by the same name, but I'm not going to do that book versus movie comparison because A, I've not read the book, and B, I think it's best to treat a movie independently because that is all we are paying the ticket for. We do not get to see good performances by lead actors very frequently, so when one does make it to the big screen, it's okay to be a little gaga about it. From the get-go, Chhawa establishes itself as a period action film and it does so with aplomb.
फाड़ देंगे मुगल सल्तनत की छाती अगर मराठा साम्राज्य के विरुद्ध सोचने की जुर्रत की.
There's a lot that will leave you in awe in the opening sequences. Vicky Kaushal's entry will make you believe he is possessed by the spirit of an actual warrior who is raging with determination to make his enemies tremble in fear. Then there are the costumes that are designed with so much attention to detail that you know the designer has put in at least days, if not weeks worth of research to get them right. Then there's the production design that transports you back to the 17th century. Then there is the action choreography, which in the moment the Maratha soldiers slide under a gate and make a makeshift bridge, gives you the assurance that the next 2 hours will be worth your money. The background music too does its job of exciting you when showing all these battle scenes. And though a lot of people are saying that it's very backdated, but the movie itself is something similar to what we have somewhat seen before, say in Jodha Akbar, you know, with the whole palace and the battles and the soldiers and the costumes. In fact, I'd say the music also sounds a little like a rearranged Azimo Shan Shahenshah. What I'm saying is that it did have that effect on me. I was excited and I was applauding each bloody kill till I realized that that's not a good thing to do as a normal civilian. Maybe if I were a soldier or something. Isn't it weird that we get all excited when we see people killing people? The movie does well in maintaining the royal aura of the on-screen world as we follow Sambhaji Maharaj to his palace and get a glimpse into his personal life. He has a wife, Yesubhai Bhosle, who is played by Rashmika Mandana, and she's getting a lot of slack because of her accent. But consider this, Yesubhai was probably speaking in Marathi during her lifetime, and if you had to make her speak in Hindi, she too would have an accent. So maybe cut her some slack. Their relation is one of mutual love, trust, and friendship. Cute. Going by the movie, there was none of that almost feudal distribution of power between them. In fact, she was calling the shots in the kingdom during his absence. So that is something that marriages today can also aspire for. He has a handful of ministers and followers who would lay down their life for him and the Maratha ideology, which testifies to at least 2 generations of good governance by his bloodline. But then there are also those who wouldn't think twice before betraying him, testifying to a politician's nature. He has a stepmother played by Divya Datta and she hates him because she wants her son to be the next king. Though she was silent in most part of her on-screen time, these were very pregnant silences. I wouldn't be surprised if she did have lines, but it just didn't make it off the editing room floor. Young Sambhaji Maharaj has a senior citizen of. Akshay Khanna plays Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor who, like any emperor on a conquering spree, wants to keep adding to his empire and has his eyes on the Maratha territory. What makes him special is that A, he was a really big emperor, and second, he was a little bit psycho given how happily he was recalling how he imprisoned his father and murdered his brother. So yes, he's bad news. The story has very heavy duty characters. But the question is the story strong enough to do them justice? I would say no. The movie has its many standalone hero moments which will give you goosebumps, but it presents it one after the other to emulate a very high standard cinematic experience instead of presenting a proper fleshed out plot. Might I say the movie was overall boring? A big problem is that there was no character development. From the very start, we see a king who's already a king. In fact, he's not just a king, he's a super king. The audience does not get to see how he rose to power or how he expanded his kingdom, be it through war or political strategies. We do not even get to see how he nurtured his personal relationships. In fact, his foe is also inherited. Getting to see how Sambhaji Maharaj became the leader he was would have been so riveting. Instead, we get a character who segues from one battle to another, giving Vicky Kaushal and his army ample opportunity to brandish a variety of weapons and jump into combat, sometimes from trees, sometimes from the river, sometimes from under the earth, sometimes in a ganne ka khet. And it all looks very interesting because of the variety. But zoom out and you see it's just an action sequence playing on repeat. The story could have moved forward some 10 minutes back. There's a battle scene in the second half that people will talk about for a long time, and Vicky Kaushal will push this right at the top of his resume. But the sequence is so long, you can actually step out for a chai, do foo 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 because it's so hot, finish your chai, come back to your seat and still find someone slashing someone else with a sword. There's a whole section towards the end of the movie, maybe around 30 minutes, devoted to depicting very graphic, detailed corporal torture. If it was intended to make the audience feel uneasy, it has hit the bullseye. No puns intended. It was horrific. It made me cry and I tried not to look at the screen. That was towards the end of the movie and it wraps up with Sambhaji Maharaj's demise. After which, I was like, so that's the story? We all know that he was a lauded warrior and he fought many battles. मतलब ये तो पहले से ही पता था. I think that's what could have been dealt with better to keep the audience engaged. If I had to sum up the things that you would enjoy in the movie, it would definitely start with Vicky Kaushal's dedication to his role. The production design, obviously a lot of money went into it. A poetry battle, or I don't know, does it have a technical term, between Sambhaji Maharaj and his court poet, who was unfortunately captured with him in the final battle. The drone shots of the hills and the valleys. And dude, Akshay Khanna as Aurangzeb. He didn't have too many lines or too many bodily actions to perform, but he made sure that you knew you were looking at a damn emperor who has been emperoring for a long time. How does one pretend to have an aura like that? A lot of it is the camera work, of course. The camera gives him a lot of time to do a lot without doing much. His body language is cold, his eyes are steely, and he makes the viewer uncomfortable. He slouches and eats grapes and kills people who give him bad news. But he also acknowledges the greatness of his adversaries, especially Shivaji Maharaj and Sambhaji Maharaj. In the end, it turns out that he was simply frustrated that none of his kids turned out like Sambhaji. The dialogues are hard-hitting, mostly about the pride of the Marathas, Swaraj, and leadership talks. There are no moments of weakness for the protagonist, and there are no neutral lines for his adversaries. If you are afraid that you'll have to use your brain to find out who are the bad guys and who the good guys are, be not afraid. The demarcation is clear as day. The bad guys give orders of massacre and torture, and the good guys talk about valor and respect. You focus on your popcorn. Overall, Chhaava is a movie with several great elements, but the story is not engaging enough to support the runtime. Also, it seems to have been made for an audience who is very familiar with the Maratha history. There were few people in the hall who were chanting Sambhaji Maharaj ki jai, and they were already charged up because they had the full background and everything. I for one didn't figure out Divya Datta's character was Sambhaji Maharaj's stepmother till the interval when I googled it. Then there were some parts spoken in Marathi and there were no subtitles. Lastly, I can't say the story is relatable. Sambhaji Maharaj is presented as this indestructible force, which he was, But Vicky Kaushal is constantly doing these 3-meter high vertical jumps and giving lines which are all hero lines, which make him sound fictional. I can't imagine someone who would constantly speak like that. The issue that the movie talks about is also quite stale. The Mughals have been out of the scene for quite some time now. And Swaraj to any modern Indian would probably bring back memories of the British, because the last set of people we wanted Swaraj from were the British, and it's also quite recent. So it was a bit of a forced connection in my head. The movie is directed by Lakshman Utekar, and I think it was a wonderful opportunity for him and Vicky Kaushal to redeem themselves after Zara Hatke Zara Bachke. Some people are focusing on how he used to make more mid-budget movies before, and this is a big leap for him, and maybe he did not deliver. I think he did a good job, though of course there are gaps, but the movie looks good. In fact, if the movie was like just half of the runtime of what it is right now, it would have made more sense. The movie is kind of a big deal, so watch it. Though it can drag and make you uncomfortable with all the bloodshed and all the torture. And let's pretend the CGI lion didn't happen. Are you going to watch Chhaava, and what are you expecting out of it? And if you've watched it, what do you think? Do you agree with me, with my points? If yes, if not, say it in the comments. That is what the comment section is for.